this platform forms a strong source of mental and emotional support, the outcome being better performance and exponential growth. The culture of nuclear family with working mothers and single child norm has also increased in the past few years. The kids are able to connect with each other on this platform, which can help them to fight back loneliness and isolation. In the upcoming era of corporate world, real vacations and holidays have become a rarity, which can be replaced by virtual Zoom meetings, even with the distant relatives, like we used to have in our grandparents' place during our summer and winter vacation. This leads to increase in bonding between them and sense of togetherness. In the recent past, during the difficult corona times, we had to rely on this, whether it be for online teaching in the education world, or online meeting in the corporate world, or online consultation in our profession. Reforming education. Online tools have become very effective. They impact education to a broader audience. Access to resources and contents have become available in a better way. Hence, it has grown in an exponential manner, the outcome being equal opportunity to one and all. Access to information. It is a resource for giving valuable information to the adolescents, whether it be current events, social issues, mental health, that is signs of depression, and how to overcome it, stress reduction, health information regarding the sexually transmitted infections, diseases, cases of sexual assault and abuse. Adolescence is usually accompanied by weight gain, which can be tackled effectively by knowing various things about a healthy diet and physical fitness. The dreaded disease of carcinoma cervix could be fought back just because of awareness on this platform and global acceptance of the HPV vaccination by one and all.
Hello,
Branding,
please give silence.
self-expression,
Please maintain
and
silence.
creative tool. The
Hello.
platform is widened. It gives a chance to a person to express themselves or show their talent and creativity. Previously, people coming from affluent class with strong family background and staying in metros could only get chance in certain fields. But thanks to this social media, which gives a golden opportunity even to the weak and meager section of the society to show their worth, as we are watching every day, people from all these strata are succeeding. The outcome being financial and social security to one and all. Acceptance of their self-worth. The likes and comments on any post leads to gain in credibility, and hence it increases the confidence level of a person and helps them to progress. Awareness about the rights of a person, whether it be a family or a workplace. Mental torture and harassment can be fought back due to the transparency on this medium. All of us are aware of the disputes occurring in various sections in our country, which has been exposed due to this platform. Overcoming myths and old-fashioned mentality of the society. Previously, our guardians used to be strong-headed and orthodox. Life of a person was totally dictated, whether it be choosing a career, age of the marriage, education of girl child, childbearing, dressing sense of girl child, and gender discrimination. Myths related to these are slowly extinguishing because of exposure to various strata and cultures, which inculcates the sense of change and widens their thought. Result being acceptance of off-league things, and which leads to progress of the family and society. Development of communication skills. Adolescent stage is a labile stage, full of hesitations. It enhances the communication, fosters peer-to-peer learning, and facilitates teamwork. Propagation of learning skills, whether it is use of gadgets, repair of gadgets, or finer skills, it can be done through that. Collaborative learning is also promoted. It is a universal truth that the growth of a country depends upon the mettle of the youth. Social media enhances the physical, mental, and educational growth of adolescent. I accept the fact that there is always a negative and positive aspect of anything, but balanced and controlled use in a sensible manner can influence its outcome. And definitely and certainly, I support the fact that social media is a boon for adolescent, and life without is incomplete in this digital world of 21st century. Thank you.
Hello. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Charu Modi for against the motion.
Respected judges and esteemed audience, a very good afternoon to all of you. This topic of social media, we are here to explore the compelling issues of social media and its various positive and negative aspects. It seems my dear opponent has presented so far a very rosy picture about social media, and it seems had social media not been there, we would still be living in old age. I really beg to differ from her and would like to state all that glitters is not always gold. No doubt social media has few benefits. After all, it's a modern technology, but only and only if it is used wisely and mindfully. And in next few minutes, I'm going to appraise you all about the ill effects and hazards this social media is causing on the most reproductive and energetic brains of our society. Now I would like to draw your attention on some interesting as well as shocking facts about social media. You can see 75% of the world's population aged 13 plus use social media, and 1 in 5 teens use social media every day, and 71% of the American children sleep with phones next to them. On an average, teens online spend more than 9 hours a day, which excludes their academic performance and academic involvement, as my dear opponent has kindly and rightly said. 36% of the teens say themselves that they spend too much time on social media, and 21% users check social media apps more than 5 times a day, and 28% adolescents are addicted to it. And look at this shocking figure, 67% of the adolescents are friend to strangers. It is really horrifying. And we can also look from this escalating graph about Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. Every day the use of social media apps are increasing by adolescents. Now social media, if I won't be incorrect if I say social media is very, very addictive. All our adolescents are into their mobiles, phones every day. Most of the hours they spend in their phones, which becomes an online addiction, as I'm rightly quoted, and adolescents get addicted to these social apps and spend their precious times, thereby hampering their studies, grades and capability. Because my dear opponent has presented and stated in her slides that it's a good tool for education, but social media app doesn't include Google and academic sites. It includes other Facebook, Twitter, chat, Snapchat, all these apps like that. And I'm sure you all will agree with this picture of which is below the screen. When we tell our adolescents to switch off our mobiles, they say, okay, in 5-10 minutes, we'll just off it after checking some important work. And even if you go after 2 or 3 hours to check them, they are still in their phones, and the scenario is like that only. So, online drugging, as this phenomena is commonly called, significantly reduces the analytical power, logical power, and even creativity of our adolescents if they are too much into it. Now, these apps such as Insta and all these social media sites where adolescents are engaged in constant chats for hours and hours together, leading them to be in their own delusional world, and where they, prefixed notions they develop about certain things, and they also get anger issues if one doesn't respond to their messages for quite some time. And they are easily influenced by fake luxurious lifestyles, the photoshopped images, and they often start comparing themselves to them, thereby developing inferiority complex and even depression upon receiving some criticism to their post. They end up sharing some intimate and very personal data which ideally should have stayed together with them. So instead of regular conversation and building their own social circles, they make themselves cut off from regular interactions. They are always in their mobiles or laptops or computers, and thereby they become highly self-centered and at times introvert also. Their personal relations are also hampered, and deprival of leisure time which otherwise could have spent on their skill building activities or physical activities is also being hampered to a large extent. So this is a common scenario when our adolescent kids sit in a room. After 2 to 3 minutes, one by one, they start picking out their phones and chatting amongst themselves in the mobile phones. Now, addiction towards streamlined content such as reel, adult contents, fake propaganda and agendas is also very, very high, which can really influence these tender brains of our adolescents. And this is a common scenario at night also. The adolescents are, into their phones. Now, my dear opponent, you will definitely agree with me about this. Online gaming addiction is so much that kids tend to spend hours and hours together with the gaming. Why? Because games are made to addict, and they fulfill the psychological needs of adolescents very easily. And the addiction of these social media apps, especially the gaming, was so high that it was banned in many of the countries like India also. And who doesn't know about this famous game PUBG? Now, there are some personality defects and fear of missing out something. Every now and then, social media apps are being checked by adolescents. Every 2 minutes or 3 minutes, they'll just open their mobile and see what is there, whether their post is liked, whether they are disliked, or whether anyone has commented on it. So, there's a big question about FOMO, which is fear of missing out on anything. Then mental health issues, dear opponent, I am sure you will agree with me, spending lot of time on social media. Our teens, they are so emotionally invested in social media that a fifth will wake up at night to check what all messages they have received, what all likes they are getting on the various apps. Then heavy social media users are almost 3 times more likely to be depressed than occasional users. These are all studies which have proved it. Then there's something called Facebook depression. As I told you, if they don't get so much of likes, or if they're bullied, then they get easily depressed. Then there's a study which proved that a closer look at the brain reward pathways activated by overuse of Facebook were similar to those in people who were addicted to cocaine. So dear opponent, I really beg to differ from you that social media is very good, no doubt it has few benefits, but overall, you know, the kind of addiction it is causing in our adolescent brains is really very alarming. Then teens who are on social media for more than 2 hours a day report poor self-related mental health, psychological distress, suicidal ideation and or unmet needs for mental health support. And this article, this print media and electronic media every now and then tells us or prints everything on about the ill hazards social media is causing. See the lower figure, to score more in exams, quit social media. Social media is getting toll on mental health of children. बच्चों की प्रताड़ना का हथियार बन रहा है mobile and all sorts of things. Then what to talk of physical health? Oh, constantly bending of the neck in order to check their phones gives rise to backache, hunching, spondylitis, and there are a lot of muscle bones hazards also, then muscle pain and joint pains are also seen in these kids. Then we have, apart from mental health, there are a lot of concerns about physical health. Constantly into gadgets leads to Blu-ray exposure, then it can lead to eye strain, mental fatigue. Some children develop migraine also. Then overuse of social media, especially at night, can lead to sleep disturbance, insomnia even, and because of lack of physical activity and mechanical work is reduced, our social media users, adolescent users are developing weight gain, obesity, and they are also at times becoming potato couch. So this is all the hazards I was telling you about, the eye disorders, then eating disorders and all sorts of physical stress. And dear opponent, you will agree with me that this is a very major concern as far as our adolescents are concerned. Cyber crime, as I said, they tend to, when they are strangers to somebody or when they are friends to the strangers, they tend to share their intimate photos and other relevant documents which ideally should have stayed with them, leading to online stalking, transaction frauds, cyberbullying and even blackmailing. So, we have to really ponder that, do we want our adolescents to be sad, gloomy, depressed, always in a state of anxiety? Or do we want our adolescents to be playful, cheerful, happy and mingling with each other? So, as I said, social media, after all, it's a modern technology, has few benefits, but only and only if it is used wisely and mindfully. Otherwise, it will become a burden and not a boon for our adolescents. Thank you so much for the patient hearing.
Now I call Dr. Neetu. 2 minutes time is given. If you want to say something against it. If you contradict it, then...
The mere fear of drowning should not restrict a person to learn swimming. Similarly, the negativities of the social media should not prohibit a person to restrict its use. Rather that we should let them face the challenges, discover the if and buts, and act accordingly. It totally depends upon the personal interest or acumen of a person, that how he or she is using a thing. The same knife is used in a kitchen to cut the fruits and vegetable, and the same knife is used by a murderer to murder a person. So it totally depends upon the personality of a person, that how you use a thing, whether as a positive way or in a negative way. Thank you.
Hello. And both of them spoke very well. Social media is a boon for someone and not for all, because adolescents are not a mature brain. So there is some positive things also, negative things also upon the health and behavioral and night disturbance, sleep. So our benefits are also there. So thank you very much. You have both were spoken very well.
Thank you so much.
Both have very well. And as both are twinkling in, they are twinkling a star, it is very difficult to say who is better. So everyone has said, because two side is there. One is for good side, one is bad side. If you take it as a good, so it is very good. No one can live without this social media. But if you are, if it is said that if 3 times a day, if it is if someone always stay in social media, then it cause mental, physical health problem. So we were very practically all adolescent, and also old person also should not go for a bad thing, always think for a good thing and go for good thing.
All right, thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank
With
you.
that, we would like to now move to our next debate, that is debate number 2. Can I request the judges, Dr. Meenu Sharan and Dr. Tripti Sinha, to please join us on the stage. As you can see, we've got Dr. Khushbu, who's going to be speaking for whether reproductive rights should be relaxed for adolescents. Yes or no? So Khushbu, you're on this. Total time is 8 minutes each, and then over to the judges. 8 plus 8 plus judges' time. And don't forget, after that, we're going to be having a quiz by Dr. Ava Rani Sinha.
Hello.
The quiz master is Dr. Rituja. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, my respected judges and all the audience. This is for the first time I am arguing a debate, but I am expert at it. You know why? Because I am happily married for 12 long years. I think I deserve a clap. And those who didn't understand the joke are either unmarried or not happily married. Jokes apart, we are talking about reproductive rights of adolescents, which is not a joke. Approximately 1/5 of our population is adolescent. More than 250 million adolescents are growing in India right now. How can we take their reproductive rights so lightly? In India, any individual under 18 years of age is a child. The reproductive right of a 7-year-old is equivalent to 17 years. Is it justifiable? Let's see what is the mental and physical growth of these so-called children. Yes, Priyanka Chopra. No, sorry. Child Priyanka Chopra won Miss World at age of 18. Child Sachin Tendulkar scored his first century at the age of 17. Dimple Kapadia was a national sensation at the age of 16. Medical colleges and engineering colleges are taking admissions at the age of 16 and 17. These are not child, these are young adults. And the late adolescent period, the young adult ones are more responsible now, more educated and more informed. And moreover, they are going through a complex phase of life. Their body image is changing. They are converting from child to an adult. Their emotional and cognitive changes are going inside. They are developing their sexuality. They are developing their sexual preferences. They are under the grip of hormones. Remember your MBBS days when PG bosses would enter in the ward with stethoscope. धड़कने तो सबकी रुकी होंगी, कुछ तो सबको हुआ होगा. Then how can we stop our adolescent, these young adults from not involving in any romantic relationship, especially in the era of Facebook, social media and social liberty? These kids want to know about their reproductive system. They want to know about their sexuality. But in India or in any developing countries, sex education is not imaginable. It is non-existent in any developing countries. Yes, reproductive chapter, reproductive system chapter is there in the curriculum, but most of the time it is skipped in the class. Our teacher asked us to read that chapter ourselves. What happens next? We will ask this to Google Baba, and this is what we will land up with: pornography. Adolescent watching pornography is detrimental for their future. They develop relationship conflicts, sexual disorder, they have worsening mental health conditions in future. Later on, they have unhealthy sexual fantasies and behavior after watching porn, and they have poor academic performance in class, especially for boys. We don't have, our young adolescents have no idea about STDs, HIVs, unwanted pregnancies, which is really sometimes detrimental, and in developing states like ours, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, it is almost non-existent. So my worthy opponent will say that talking about sex in front of kids or young adolescent will instigate them to do so. My husband said the same, but sir or madam, the answer is, even WHO is saying, if we educate our adolescents, education by the teacher and by the parents about sex delays their first sexual intercourse, and they implicate better and safe sexual behavior, which is all evidence based. They have less chances of STDs, HIV and unwanted pregnancies. So अब गलती हो ही गई, पाप हो ही गया, अब क्या? The laws are really stringent for our adolescents. Actually, in any romantic relationship or in marriage, if a couple is having sexual intercourse and the girl is younger than 18, that will be stamped as rape. Remember, if this situation happens with our son or our loved ones, what will happen? How will we protect them? Because we know from inside that we cannot stop our kids from involving in any romantic relationship and further. So the laws are really stringent. There can be imprisonment up to 10 years, and if the girl's age is less than 16, it can go up to 20 years. And if unwanted pregnancy happens and they go to a doctor, what will happen? The doctor has to inform this to higher authority, and if he or she fails to do it, there is provision of imprisonment for 1 to 1.5 years to the doctor, which is really difficult. And these POCSO cases are now more misused than used by the parents to separate young couples. Most cases registered under the Act involve teenagers who are in love and elope, or if the girl gets pregnant. Girls do give statements against their boyfriends due to parental pressure, destroying life of two individuals at a time. As we know, more the spring is compressed, harder it pushes back. I am in favor of these stringent acts must be relaxed for our adolescents, and the age of giving consent for sexual intercourse must be lowered because this empowers our adolescents. And finally, I plead for adding this comprehensive sexual education in our curriculum, because it helps to develop a safe and positive view of sexuality, build healthy relationship, and make informed, safe and positive choices about their sexuality and sexual health. And finally, above all, I don't think it's the lack of awareness only that make them do it. It's their age, which cannot be prevented. Thank you.
Okay, so we have now Dr. Richa Jha for the counter case.
A very good afternoon to the respected judges, all my seniors and my teachers and my colleagues present in the hall today. First of all, I would like to congratulate my opponent, Dr. Khushbu, who has put forward such valid points in favor of the subject. But somehow, I beg to differ. Firstly, because I'm not talking about abstinence. When we are talking about relaxation of reproductive rights, it's not that if I'm speaking against it, I'm favoring abstinence. No. First of all. Secondly, we are not living in America or in the Western world. We are living in India, and it is better that, or it is much practical if we realize how Indian system and Indian values work. So we all know that adolescence is life's most fascinating and complex stages, accompanied by special reproductive health needs. They are resilient, resourceful, energetic, and often dominated by peer influence and control. They have bodies that can respond and behave like that of an adult, but their mind and heart is still as sensitive as that of a child. And to remind all of you, they are a heterogeneous group. On one hand of the spectrum, we have so-called the elite adolescents living in the metropolitan cities, economically privileged ones who have access to social media and whatnot. And on the other hand, let's not forget a vast rural population of India, the adolescents living in the rural population below 18 years of age who are forced into the duties of adulthood much before they attain that age because of economic deprivation. So what do adolescents actually expect from us? They want to have a healthy life, they want to be in charge of their health, and they need support and understanding from us. So to enumerate a few reproductive rights of the adolescents which were identified way back by the ICPD, that is International Conference on Population and Development, in 1992. Remind you, it's in 1992 that these rights were first accepted. They have the right to information, make responsible decisions, right to bodily integrity, right for sexual orientation and whatnot. But ever since then, has it reflected in the adolescent reproductive health data? Have we made things better for them? The answer is no. Still, according to the National Family Health Survey, 5 to 10% of adolescents have had their sexual activity before 15 and 39% before 18. India has got around 10 million pregnant adolescents, and 1 in 6 girls in India starts bearing child between 13 to 19 years. 70,000 adolescents worldwide die from pregnancy-related complications each year, and 5 million unsafe abortions are performed on adolescents worldwide, and India accounts to about more than 3/4 of it. 6,000 youths between 15 to 24 years are infected with HIV every day, which constitutes a whopping 12 million youths are PLHA, and of this, 62% are women. So how can we protect and improve the things to be better? For that, we need to understand the temperament of the adolescents. So this topic is actually very close to my heart because I'm a mother of 2 adolescent kids, and the other day my son and my daughter were actually discussing about the types of relationships they can have. There could be Gen Z, the relationship, the Gen Z generation that is called today. They can have a situationship, friends with benefits, breadcrumbing, delulu-ships, and whatnot. And I was really amazed, and I had to finally Google it. So their decision-making capabilities are not developed fully due to the ongoing brain development. They are emotionally labile. And in this era, can we trust them to make responsible decisions? No. There are many factors that predispose for early and unprotected sex in the adolescents. There is impact of electronic media, there is impact of print media also, rapid growth of cities and breakdown of the traditional family layer, which is eroding slowly the protective cultural layer that we had. There is conflict and forced migration, pressure into desperate situations, which has forced them for sex, for survival, especially during the economic hardships. And again, there is trend for earlier sexual maturation while late marriage, where the teens, they may enter into sexual relationship just for the sake of it, but yet they are feared to commit. They will never commit. So these are many studies that are going on, and they have shown that there is a high risk sexual behavior has increased among adolescents, not only in the urban areas, but also in the rural areas. So there are many social factors that affect the sexual attitude and behaviors. So what we should pause for a minute and think, are we blindly trying to ape the Western culture? And is India ready for a society like the West? So in today's generation, if any boy or a girl, he has a strong bond with her parents, they are tagged or they are labeled as mama's boy and daddy's princess, and they are the subject of mockery by their peers. Therefore, in case of any adverse life event like a failed relationship or unwanted pregnancies, etc., instead of seeking parental guidance and support, they tend to rely more on their peers and are often misguided. Therefore, the incidence of suicidal rates, intimate partner violence, blackmailing, cybercrime and depression is on a rapid escalation. Now, this is a still from a movie in which Shah Rukh Khan is giving a relationship advice to Alia Bhatt. And he is saying, हम बहुत कुर्सियाँ देखते हैं एक कोई लेने से पहले, फिर अपना लाइफ पार्टनर चूज करने से पहले ऑप्शंस देखने में हर्ज क्या है? Exactly, कोई हर्ज नहीं है. But our adolescents have taken this too literally. They are literally sitting on each and every chair before finally confirming a single one. They also have easy accessibility to social media and pornography. They have unrealistic expectations regarding their sexual fantasies. They believe in first meeting mein love hua and second meeting mein sab hua. You know, really, this is the cause. They are under the pressure of alcohol and substance abuse. Also, not to forget the physical immaturity. The adolescent age group is for the age for pursuing studies and to make their career and not for conceiving babies. Their bodies are still developing and maternal mortality is very high for younger adolescents. If we give them the freedom for voluntary sexual relationships, if it is further relaxed, teenage pregnancies and their complications would increase enormously. We all know what are the complications of teenage pregnancy. Not to forget the risk of STDs and HIV/AIDS. Right to voluntary sexual relationships with freedom to choose multiple sexual partners without using protection. It is directly proportional to the risk of STDs and HIV, and we have data. 1 in 4 adolescents today, sexually active female, has STDs like chlamydia and HPV. Freedom to sexual orientation, especially for the LGBTQ plus communities, it makes them more prone to develop HIV and AIDS. Repeated episodes of STDs leads to tubal blockage. There are many studies that have shown this. Again, talking about the education and economy, the adolescent mothers are often drop out from school and are not able to complete their education, leading to a faltering contribution in the country's economy and perpetuates a cycle of unemployment and poverty. The legal considerations, the acts that have been made, they are present to safeguard the adolescents, and time and again, the government of India has revised them, sensing the adolescent vibe. The MTP Act and its amendment in 2021 has relaxed the gestational limit, and not only that, the clause E has removed the term husband and has replaced it by partner, thereby facilitating abortion even in the unmarried female. And special focus has been given for privacy. The POXO Act is the Great Wall of China, protecting all the adolescents. So we don't want another black day like on 16th December 2012. And we can never forget Nirbhaya Kand. So in my opinion, rather than relaxing the lights, efforts should be directed towards improving access to comprehensive sexual education, establishing strong family bond, and making the adolescents aware not only of their rights, but also their duties and responsibilities towards themselves, family, and nation. This empowers adolescents to make informed decisions and reduces the need for crisis intervention. Thank you.
Dr. Khushbu, do you want to counter?
Thank you, ma'am. I would not say much, but my opponent said that this is not America. But actually, we are the fifth largest economy of the world. So why are we focusing more on regressive things? We can progress with education by improving comprehensive sexual education instead of making the laws stringent, because of these strict laws, our innocent younger ones are getting into it, and couples and parents are misusing this law for separating their children and their loved ones in romantic relationships. So the laws must be relaxed, and this is the education part which must be added in the curriculum. Thank you.
Dr. Khushbu?
The mic closer to you.
Dr. Khushbu?
नहीं मैम और एकदम बिल्कुल नज़दीक और
Sex education is okay, but what according to you should be the age of consent? What?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, definitive, it is really difficult to say definitive, but yes, after 14, 15, every adolescent here are mature enough, well educated, they have idea about sex and sexuality, so we can relax up to that. And it is for government who can decide and the learned people in the field who can decide, but yes, according to me, it can go up to 15.
Khushbu, you are a very strong proponent of reproductive rights for adolescents. Just how much relaxation do you think is prudent? How much relaxation in giving reproductive rights to the adolescents in our country and our culture is prudent on a long-term basis?
Ma'am, first of all, we are talking about adolescent doing sex at 16 or 17, and we have data that 25% of marriages are still going on in teenagers, and 11% teenage pregnancies are there.
So that is another issue. We will be talking about
Child
child marriage prohibition.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we have to think of the society in a holistic way. So we start fragmenting the society by sending wrong messages to the adolescents at this stage. Another thing, I think most of these adolescents are going in for these activities because they are not providing them other activities to make life more charming. And Dr. Richa, I agree with you in most things, except that you said that even abstinence, we should not be talking about abstinence. I think I would extend it as far as telling them to abstain from any sexual contacts, because believe it or not, there are lots of psychological studies which have said that post-marriage it does have its scarring effects on the long-term relationships. So I think, tell me, how much relaxation would you like an adolescent to have as far as reproductive rights are concerned?
Ma'am, I think the rights that presently the adolescents enjoy.
I'm asking Dr. Khushbu,
Yes, ma'am.
how much relaxation would you like? Suppose there's an adolescent in your family.
Yeah.
Because they will be coming to us for guidance.
Yes, ma'am. If that person belongs to my family, it will be really difficult to say. But I know from inside that it will be difficult to prevent that also. They will involve in a relationship. In fact, nowadays what we do, we keep on asking our adolescent, do you have a friend? Do you have a close friend? Because co-ed education is there, and it is really difficult to say whatever you say, ma'am. 40% of adolescents are having sex before 18 years of age, and this is a data, worldwide data, so we cannot prevent them. They are knowing in India, intercaste marriages is not enjoyed by anyone, but it is happening. We know we cannot prevent it. So what we can do is we can lessen the complication associated with it. That's why I am more emphasizing on educating for safer sex.
So by relaxing these reproductive rights, do you think we would be curtailing
Actually,
the
ma'am,
number
the
of
laws are really
adolescents,
stringent. That's what I'm
having
saying.
sex?
The laws need to be relaxed, and that act of sexual intercourse in romantic relationship shouldn't be stamped as rape.
Will it not encourage teenage pregnancy?
No, ma'am, we are not encouraging. We are talking about the law. Laws are, if it happens, then the boy can go to jail. We are talking about laws. We are educating to,
These
ma'am.
acts, we are getting teenage pregnancy and we are seeing its side effects.
No,
So
ma'am,
once
we
we legalize, we will face more
Ma'am,
problems.
you need to actually exactly kiss the mic. The mic won't mind it. Really, the mic won't mind it.
Ma'am, we are not talking about instigating them to do that. We are educating them. Please don't do it. It delays the first intercourse. If we educate them, it delays their first intercourse, and it is proven. So we are educating them that don't do it. Please try to delay it. But the laws are stringent. What I'm saying is the laws are stringent. That needs to be relaxed. But we cannot prevent it. It will happen.
I think I finally agree with you on one topic. That yes, I think this topic needs to be reframed. Do adolescents have a right to learn about sexuality, their reproductive capabilities, And just this topic about reproductive rights, I think isn't just just a manifestation of us again aping the West. Suppose the West suddenly decides that no, we'll go back to the Indian system. Where do we stand? So I think we have to evolve according to our own structures. Just because the West is doing it, and when we are talking about rights, I think whenever they talk about rights, we should ask, what do you think is
Doing no good to anyone.
All right, ma'am, I think this topic is going to be
Did I?
a very non-ending topic, and eventually you are all four of here and there are around about 50 here. They'll also get involved in it.
Madam, I'd just like to emphasize on one thing. If POXO Act wasn't strict, we all remember Nirbhaya's case, and that is why I put it up for in my slide. The lowest perpetrator, the lowest age of the perpetrator was 16 years, and he was acquitted with only 3 years of imprisonment. So for such a heinous crime, can you let that person go away just because he was a juvenile? Can you let him go away with only 3 years of imprisonment? Is it right? So we want another, are we waiting for another Nirbhaya case to happen in future? By relaxing the laws, by letting them go. Okay, you can do whatever you like to. Okay, I'm so sorry.
Seriously, we were getting really scared of you now.
So we'll wind up.
But on a lighter note, let's put an end to the session. Can we have a big round of applause to all of them who are here on the dais? May I request you to please come off the dais. We would like to felicitate you with a memento. And meanwhile, we're going to have the quiz going on. And may I request our expert of the quiz, Dr. Abharani Sinha, to please come up on the dais, please. Dr. Abharani Sinha, please join us. And do we have Dr. Anita Paswan with us in the hall? May I request all the doctors who were in the debate, participants of both the debates, may I request all four of you to come forward, and the judges for the debates, please come forward. Okay, so for the quiz session, so we have our expert of the quiz session, Dr. Abharani Sinha, with us, and I'm going to invite the quiz masters, Dr. Rita Kumar Jha, Dr. Ranu Singh, Dr. K. Manju, Dr. Jyoti Agarwal, and Dr. Archana Kumari, joining with Dr. Bhavna Tiwari. Where's the photographer gone? Do we have Dr. Rita Sinha and Dr. Usha Kumari with us? Yeah, they're here. Dr. Neetu Prasad and Dr. Charu Modi.
We'll take 5 minutes for the arrangement for the sitting of the participants. Just 5 minutes patience, and then we'll have a thrilling quiz. I hope everyone will enjoy, and just a request to the audience, please don't prompt. Please don't prompt, I'm very strict at it.
कमेटी के पार्ट है बोल दीजिए क्विज कमेटी का हम बस यही सब आप हैं मैम के मंजू मैम है नानू मैम है दानू मैम अर्चना मैम टेबल्स चाहिए और दो आप लोग नहीं करिए हरी जी किसी को बोल के टेबल ऊपर करवाइए ना किसी का डिले है कब से बोले हुए हैं कोई आना वही दो चाहिए
हो गया ना
हम आपको बुला देते हैं
रूल्स बेसिक
I would request our chairperson, quiz committee, Dr. Rita Kumari Jha ma'am, to just deliver a welcome address and brief you about our quiz today. Rita ma'am.
On behalf of quiz committee, expert Dr. Abharani Sinha and quiz masters, myself Dr. Rita Kumari Jha, Dr. Archana, Dr. Ranu, Dr. K. Manju and Dr. Bhavna. Welcome all my seniors, juniors and colleagues for this very interesting session of quiz. I personally like quiz very much and whenever I get opportunity to be associated with it, I enjoy a lot. And now I invite Dr. Bhavna to tell you all participants all the rules and regulations of different rounds regarding this quiz.
Thank you ma'am. I hope the participants are here. Can you please raise your hands, participants? All the 4 teams are here? Okay, thank you. So, the teams come forward, please. There will be a team selection for you all. So the final teams are, we should tell you there were 28 teams for preliminary this time, and we selected the best 4 on basis of the prelims which was conducted yesterday, where there were 20 questions of 20 marks. So these 4 teams were selected, and on the basis of the score, this sequence will be there. Dr. Bhavna and Dr. Darakshan from Sasaram Medical College is the first team. Second team is Dr. Priyanka Jain and Dr. Eman Ara from Mahavir Cancer Sansthan, Patna. Third team, Dr. Shikha Singh and Dr. Khushbu Soni from Manjugita Mishra Hospital. Team 4 is Dr. Simran Rani and Dr. Iram Farheen from PMCH. So 4 teams from 4 different institutes. So we welcome you all for today's quiz. So first we'll go for the team selection. First, the team from Sasaram, since they scored the highest, please come forward. So you select one ball of your choice. Jaldi aage aao. Don't waste time. Which one? So they chose golden one. Let's see what we have for them. It's not working. Aapka hyperlink kaam nahi kar raha. नहीं 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 कर रहा आपका हरी जी Golden is team B. You sit down. It's not working, Hari ji. This method has also been taught to me by Abha ma'am only. I'll just name the accordingly. You choose the next team is from Mahavir Cancer. You choose blue one. It's team C. Next from MGM Hospital, Khushbu. Pink. It's team B A. Team A. And last, you don't have any option. The remaining last one is team D. You get the team D. Sorry, the hyperlink couldn't work today, unfortunately. Kindly check your mics first. It's working? Just a brief introduction if you want to give, starting from Team A.
Good morning everyone. I am Dr. Shikha, second year DNB resident, MGM Hospital, Patna.
Good afternoon everyone. Myself Dr. Khushbu Soni, DNB first year student at MGM Hospital, Patna.
Good afternoon everyone. I am Daraksha Firdaus, PG first year resident from Sasaram, NMCA Sasaram.
Good morning everyone. Myself Dr. Bhavna Prakhar, PG first year resident from NMCH Sasaram.
Good afternoon everyone. I am Dr. Priyanka Jain, DRNB
On
resident.
mic, you're not audible.
Hello. Good afternoon everyone. I am Dr. Priyanka Jain, DRNB resident at Mahavir Cancer Sansthan.
Good afternoon everyone. I am Dr. Eman, DRNB resident, Mahavir Cancer Sansthan.
Mahavir Cancer.
Good afternoon everyone. I am Dr. Simran Rani, third year PG resident from PMCH Patna.
Good afternoon everyone. I am Dr. Iram Fareen, second year PG resident from PMCH Patna.
So I welcome all the teams. You all have done really very well in prelims, and I hope a very good quiz comes out today. All the best. So we have expert today, none other than Abha Rani ma'am, the pioneer in quiz, who has been my guru in quiz. I learned everything from her regarding A to Z about quiz from Abha ma'am. Thank you ma'am for that. Quiz master, Dr. Rita Kumari Jha ma'am, who has been guiding throughout, day in, day out. Prelims mein bhi shuru se ma'am the. She guided me throughout. Thank you ma'am for that. Dr. Ranu Singh ma'am. Ma'am is here? So her rounds I will conduct? I will conduct her round. So Ranu ma'am has left because of some emergency. I'll conduct her round on her behalf. Archana ma'am has come all the way from Ranchi to help us in quiz and guide us throughout. Thank you ma'am for being there. And myself, Dr. Bhavna Timari from IGIMS Patna. So let me just brief you about the rounds. There are total 5 rounds. Round 1 will be direct questions round. Round 2, POXO. Round 3, acronyms. Round 4, image based. And round 5 will be rapid fire. So the questions with each specific round, you will be provided with the rules. Right? For each round, there is separate rules, and it will be told before starting the rounds. If you have any query, you can tell me. There is no pass throughout the quiz. There is no pass. If you don't answer, I'll pass it to the audience. Okay, so there is no pass. There is no negative marking for the first 4 rounds. There is negative marking for rapid fire. So you have to play safe there. Fine? So at least attempt in the first 4 rounds, because there is no negative marking. So you have nothing to lose. कहीं तुक्का लग गया तो, ठीक है? We have for scoring Dr. Sudvita from AIMS Patna, Dr. Pami Pravina from AIMS Patna, Dr. Khushbu from Mannat IVF, and we have chocolates for all the audience if you answer well. So we have many things awaiting. So let's begin. Just a small request, please don't prompt. It becomes very difficult. We have limited question. I don't have more questions. If you prompt, I have to find out another question for them. So it becomes difficult for us. Thank you. Let's begin. All the teams are ready. So the first question will, for direct rounds, the rules are, each team will get 1 question. 10 marks will be awarded for correct answer. As I told, there is no pass and no negative marking. Time allotted is 30 seconds. So timekeeping is being done by Sudvita, Pammi and Khushbu. So once I say start, from that time, 30 seconds will be counted, a bell will ring. If you don't answer within 30 seconds, I'll consider it to be pass. Fine? Any confusion? So I can begin? So first question goes to team A. All of the following are causes of hypergonadotropic hypogonadism except idiopathic primary gonadal failure, gonadectomy or chemotherapy, functional GNRH deficiency, and genetic syndromes. And your time starts now.
C, ma'am. Functional GNRH deficiency.
This is the correct answer, so they get 10 marks. Very good. Team A, functional GNRH deficiency, plus 10 to Team A. Next for Team B. As per the ESHRE guidelines, which of the following statements regarding PCOS in adolescent is not correct? There are no definitive criteria to define PCOM on ultrasound in adolescents. Hence, it is not recommended in adolescents. In patients with irregular menstrual cycles and hyperandrogenism, an ovarian ultrasound is not necessary for diagnosis of PCOS. Thresholds for PCOM should be revised regularly with advancing ultrasound technology, and age-specific cutoff values for PCOM should be defined, and serum AMH could be used for defining PCOM in adolescents. Team B. 10 seconds left.
C.
I'm afraid you are not correct. Anyone from the audience? That girl will get a chocolate. It's D. Serum AMH could not be used for defining PCOM in adolescents. You are dealing with adolescent cases. You said C. Actually, ultrasound criteria is revised from time to time. Not पे stress दिया था मैंने इसीलिए. So Team B doesn't get any point. Now we have next question for Team C. You are ready? As per the ACOG and the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, routine HPV vaccination is recommended at the target age of 11 to 12 years, 9 to 11 years, 10 to 13 years, and 13 to 26 years. Team C.
B.
I'm afraid they are not correct. Anyone from the audience? Mamta ma'am. They answered B, ma'am. It's not correct. उस तरह से तो A, D, C सब बोल दोगे तुम लोग. It's A, 11 to 12 years. Actually 9 to 12 years हमारा target population है. जो second option था उसमें मैंने 12 नहीं लिखा है. मैंने 11 लिखा है, उसको पकड़ना था. It's 11 to 12 years. That comes in the target age group. This is as per the ACOG Committee Opinion 2020. क्या मैम? मैम थोड़ा तो confuse करना है ना. Now the next question is for Team D. So Team C doesn't get any point. Team D. All are true regarding diagnosis of metabolic syndrome except, mind you, except increased waist circumference more than 88 centimeters, increased blood pressure more than equal to 140 millimeters of mercury for systolic and more than equal to 90 for diastolic, increased triglycerides level more than 150, and increased fasting glucose more than 100. Team D. B. B. Yes, it's B. Can you tell me why? I give you 10 points. I'll not deduct if you don't say why. Guess भी चलेगा, लेकिन क्यों? Very good. Say in the mic, let the audience know.
130 by 85 exact.
Yes. The point is, its increased blood pressure is there in metabolic syndrome, but the value I provided was wrong. It's not 140/90, it's 130/85. Anjana ma'am घूर रहे हैं. So they get plus 10. It was a good attempt. Well done, Team D. Now, let's go to the audience. So this question is for the audience. I've kept easy one for you all. Most common cause of androgen excess in adolescents is PCOS, idiopathic. उन बच्चों ने पहले हाथ उठाया. Classical CAH and non-classical. बैठ जाओ. PCOS.
दो उसको, दो ग्रे, उसको दो, वो सही बोलिए कुछ भी। हाँ अच्छा ठीक है, आर एक्सपर्ट हैज टोल्ड एक बार चॉकलेट मिलेगा, दूसरी बार नहीं मिलेगा, सेकंड किसी और को अटेम्प्ट लेना होगा, ठीक है, इट्स PCOS. So at the end of round 1, can we have the scores please? खड़े होके पम्मी, stand up and say. Take the mic, stand and say.
Has not started their.
Repeat it please for the audience.
So at the end of first round, we have team A and D with equal points, 10 each, and team B and C are yet to open their account, but all the best for the next round.
Okay, let's move to the second round. This is the POXO round, and the rules for the round are each team will again get one question only. 10 marks again will be given for correct answer, no pass, no negative marking, and 30 seconds. So same as that of round 1. Nothing new in this round, okay? Except for that the question will only be from POXO. Fine? This time we will start with team B. Team B will start first. I'll keep on rotating so that everyone gets equal opportunity, right? So this time team B will start. You are ready, team B? Team B will be there scoring. Aggravated sexual assault includes all except, mind you, except offense committed by a police officer, offense committed by a public servant, offense committed on an inmate by person of management like remand home, jail, protection home, and offense committed on a child below 10 years of age. Team B, aggravated sexual assault except
Option D.
Option
D.
D, offense committed on a child under 10 years of age. Yes, it's correct. क्यों परेशान हो? Aggravated sexual assault is when any person who is given the responsibility of safeguarding us commits the offense. Anyone, remand home में, jail में, किसी protection place पे, foster homes में, schools, institutions में अगर किसी senior, किसी teacher ने ऐसा commit किया तो it comes under aggravated sexual assault. It does not come for the age of 10 years. So they are correct. So team B gets 10 marks. Now the next question is for team C. Team C ready? The punishment for committing aggravated sexual assault is minimum 5 years imprisonment, which can be extended up to 7 years, minimum 3 years imprisonment extended up to 5 years, minimum 7 years imprisonment which can be extended up to 10 years, and minimum 10 years imprisonment which can be extended up to life imprisonment. They mention what is aggravated sexual assault. So what is the punishment they will get?
A.
A. They are correct. Minimum 5 years imprisonment which can be extended up to 7 years is the correct answer. This is the punishment given to the aggravated sexual assault committers. So they get plus 10. Team C gets plus 10. Next is team D. Ready? For gang rape of a girl child less than 12 years, the punishment is minimum 20 years imprisonment, minimum 10 years imprisonment, life imprisonment, and minimum 15 years imprisonment.
Ma'am, C.
Life imprisonment? Correct. It's life imprisonment. So we should be aware of these punishments. Why? Because we are, at many times, we are the first point of contact for these patients. We are examining them and we are not knowing, and it is important that it is mandatory as per the POXO rule that we have to inform the police about this. So if we are not aware of the punishments, it's really pitiable situation that we as doctors are not knowing what is POXO Act. So it's correct. Team D gets 10 marks. And the last question for this round is for team A. You are ready? The term life imprisonment, they mention life imprisonment for natural life of a convict means government may release the person usually after 12 years in prison.
Government may release the person usually after 14 years in prison. Government may release the person usually after 20 years in prison, or person will have to remain in prison till he dies. What is life imprisonment? We know life imprisonment है. करना क्या है life imprisonment में? पूरे जीवन भर रखना है कि पहले रिलीज कर सकते हो?
D, ma'am.
D? Correct. They have to remain in prison till he dies. यहाँ कैच पॉइंट क्या है? लाइफ इम्प्रिजनमेंट फॉर नेचुरल लाइफ. एक टर्म पॉक्सो में है लाइफ इम्प्रिजनमेंट, जिसमें नेचुरल लाइफ मेंशन नहीं है. अगर नेचुरल लाइफ मेंशन नहीं है तो वहाँ पर यू कैन रिलीज द पर्सन आफ्टर 14 ईयर्स ऑफ इम्प्रिजनमेंट. लेकिन जहाँ नेचुरल लाइफ मेंशन कर दिया, मतलब जब तक वो मर नहीं जाता. So the answer is person will have to remain in prison till he dies, and I'm very happy that in the POXO round all the teams have really performed well. Good, well done. Now our audience. Who is considered a child under POXO Act? Person below 16, person below 18. उधर से हाथ उठा. B. B. Person below 18 years of age. कुछ हुआ? करेक्ट. द आंसर इज 18 ईयर्स ऑफ एज. पॉक्सो 18 ईयर्स के नीचे सभी को बच्चा मानता है. सो एट द एंड ऑफ राउंड 2 आई वुड लाइक टू हैव द स्कोर्स फ्रॉम द स्कोरर्स.
At the end of second round, we have Team B and C going together with 10 points each, and Team A and D going together with 20 points each.
So every team has opened their accounts. Well done. कुछ भी ध्यान नहीं दे रही हो तुम. So now we'll move ahead with the third round, round 3, which is acronyms, and the rules are there will be 2 rounds, so 2 questions for each team. Fine. This is only different from the previous 2 rounds. 1 question to each team in both the rounds. Time allotted for each question will be 30 seconds. Teams have to expand the acronyms. Complete सही expansion पे ही you will get full marks. एक अल्फाबेट भी गलत बताया नहीं दूंगी मार्क्स. ठीक है. 10 marks for correct answer, no pass, no negative marking. So this time we'll begin with team C. Fine, you are ready? Question for team C. Prism. Expand prism.
Pass.
Pass. Anyone from audience? Prism. No one? ले जाएंगे घर में. Prospective record of the severity of menstruation. This is a scoring system which is done for PMS patients. Fine. Prospective record of the severity of menstruation. So team C doesn't get any point. The next question is for team D. Team D ready? Cope. Cope. Expand cope. I hope you will answer cope. Cope. Time is running out. कुछ तो बोलो.
प्री मेंस्ट्रुअल सिंड्रोम के लिए यूज होता है.
वो तो ठीक है, वो प्रीलिम्स में क्वेश्चन था इसीलिए. फिर भी नहीं पढ़ा तुम लोगों ने कि कोप क्या है. प्रीलिम्स में क्वेश्चन रखा, फिर भी नहीं पढ़ा तुम लोगों ने.
भूल गए अभी.
भूल गए. एनीवन फ्रॉम ऑडियंस? कोप. मोबाइल खोल के मत देखना. नन. Calendar of premenstrual experiences. This is a scoring again for PMS and PMDD. I kept this in prelims as COPE is used for. They didn't answer. 90% of the students didn't answer, and still they have not studied COPE. So you missed it. Now team A. PAF. PAF. Expand PAF. Can we have more cheers for the audience? प्लीज बोलिए ना. नीरज जी और चेयर्स लगवाइए, पीछे सब खड़े. PAF.
Premature antral follicle.
हाँ. Premature
antral follicle.
Antral follicle नहीं.
You want to pass? You want to try? There's no negative marking. ऐसे तुमने attempt ले लिया. Audience, PAF, Premenstrual Assessment Form. Premature antral follicle नहीं है. ठीक है? I am dealing with adolescent. I won't go to folliculometry and reproductive biology. Fine. Now team B, I think this is the last question for the first round of acronyms. You'll have more questions, don't worry. So team B, PMDD. Good luck. Easy one, and if you don't answer, I will be disappointed.
Premenstrual dysphoric disorder.
They get 10 points. It's premenstrual dysphoric disorder. That is why I have the team selection system and I keep on rotating. It's luck. Now, next question will go to team D. Right? We'll start with team D now. Quickie. Quickie. Used in PCOS. Quickie. Team D को दिया. Team D को दिया. No? Audience, quickie. Quantitative insulin sensitivity check index. It is used to measure insulin resistance in PCOS. A very common tool which is used, especially in the foreign world. Okay, it's quickie. Quantitative insulin sensitivity check index. Now the next question for team A. NCPCR. NCPCR. कोशिश करो. NCPCR. Try. There is no negative marking. I have not kept negative marking, that is why. Anyone from audience? हाँ, ममता मैम. कुछ तो मैम करीब है, चॉकलेट में दे दूंगी मैम को. नेशनल कमीशन फॉर प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ चाइल्ड राइट्स, लगभग सही है. फॉर ऑफ में थोड़ा सा था. वेल डन मैम. It was not that difficult, team A. Now next question for team B. Team B. HOMA IR. HOMA IR. Expand HOMA IR. Exact expansion I want. Audience, HOMA IR. हाँ, सिमिदी. एक कंबाइंड में क्यों बोल रहे दीपाली दी? दीपाली दी और सिमिदी को चॉकलेट मिले खुशबू. होम्योस्टैटिक मॉडल असेसमेंट ऑफ इंसुलिन रेजिस्टेंस. होम्योस्टैटिक से ले लिया, मॉडल असेसमेंट का MA उठा लिया और IR इंसुलिन रेजिस्टेंस. HOMA IR. ठीक है. दीपाली दी और सिमिदी को चॉकलेट खुशबू. Next, team C, you have, it's your turn, no? Team C. NICHD. NICHD.
National Institute of Child and Health Development.
National Institute of Child Health and Human Development. So I will not give it to you. They missed human. एक acronym मतलब complete expansion. थोड़ा भी गड़बड़ तो नहीं. शुरू में ही बोला था I won't give. Team C doesn't get any point. With this we'll end this round. And I think one question is there for audience. I try to keep easy ones for you all. FIR. उधर से बोले अंजना मैम को चॉकलेट दिया है, जो सबसे पहले वो बोले उधर मैम भी बोले हैं, ममता मैम और अंजना मैम को चॉकलेट मिले. First information report. I was happy because today when I was going through the slides, my daughter also said, ये तो मुझे भी पता है first information report. अच्छा मैम को भी देना खुशबू उधर. So with this we end the third round, acronyms, and again I want the scores from the scoring team.
Team A 20 score, Team B scored 20 points, Team D 20 and Team C 10 points.
Okay, we still have many rounds, 2 more rounds, and rapid fire can revert every sequence. We have seen in previous quizzes, so don't get disheartened, keep trying. And for the next round, it is the visual round. I request Archana ma'am to kindly come on stage, ma'am, please.
So here I'm going to conduct visual round, and these are the rules. Each team will get one image, and that image with some of the word clue, that will be followed by 3 questions. And total marks is 15, out of which 5 marks is for each question. And of course it is a non-passing round, no negative marking, but answering time is just 15 seconds. So even if you are not able to answer the first question, you can attempt the second and third question. So I hope I'm clear about the rules. So 15 seconds for each. Yeah, maybe. I'll give. 15 seconds for each questions. So, but the visual clue will be displayed only once, first time, okay? So I hope I am clear with the rules. Shall we go ahead? So we have already completed 4 rounds. We'll be starting again with Team A. So all the best to all the teams. And here is the first visual clue. Team A. So this is a 16-year-old girl who came with primary menorrhea with history of past surgery for left ectopic ureter, and she also had ectopic kidney, and that surgery was performed at 5 years. And these are the pictures at the age of 16 years of X-ray and laparoscopy, and probably laparotomy was also done after laparoscopy. So your time starts now. So this is the question. What is the diagnosis, of course?
Turner syndrome.
Turner syndrome. How did you come to that inclusion?
Renal agenesis.
I'm afraid this is not the correct answer. Any guess from the...
MRKH.
Even if you would have told MRKH, I would have given you only half marks, because actually it is MRKH type 2, which is called Merkus association, and it is Mullerian duct aplasia, renal agenesis, and cervicothoracic somoid dysplasia. So that is why I gave that clue of scoliosis also. So this is actually MRKH type 2. So once you have made the diagnosis, the other questions of course become easier for you. Here's the second question. What is the incidence of urinary tract and skeletal anomalies in this syndrome? Plus minus 10% I'll give you.
5 to 15%.
You have to be specific about the 2 anomalies. There are 2 anomalies, right? So your time's up. I'm sorry you don't get any marks for it. Audience, PGs. Urinary tract abnormalities का क्या incidence है? Yes? I'm not able to hear you. Please be louder. 40%. 15 to 40%. Okay, that you are around it is 40%. And what is the incidence of skeletal anomalies? Sorry, it is around 30 to 40% and Merkus syndrome. So you can still attempt the last question of your visual clue. This is your question. Mention at least 4 of these malformation, urinary tract and skeletal anomalies.
Horseshoe kidney.
Yes, please, go on, go on. At least 4.
Ectopic ureter.
You could tell me only 2. I can give you 2.5 marks. So plus 2.5 for team A. You could mention me 2 of the urinary tract anomalies. I will give you that. And these are the skeletal anomalies: scoliosis, isolated vertebral anomalies, rib malformation, and spina bifida. So I move on to the second visual clue for team B. All the best to you. And here is your visual clue. This is a 18-year-old girl who presented with primary amenorrhea. FSH was 96.73 milli international unit per ml. Her height was 155 centimeter. Average weight. Breast Tanner stage was 2. Vaginal length was around 8 centimeter and karyotype was XY. You can see the picture, you can see the treatment. Just give me the diagnosis. And I would like to acknowledge Dr. Sangam Jha for this picture, because this is her case. Actually, I also had one case of SOIA, but I could not find the picture at the last moment, so I took her. Time's up, nahi hua? Swyer syndrome. So they were on time, no? Yes, so plus 5, very good. So this is a Swyer syndrome. So the next question is, what was the need for doing early gonadectomy in this case?
Ma'am, the presence of Y could lead to malignancy, and therefore gonadectomy is recommended.
So, okay, you mentioned malignancy. So, can you just elaborate, although time is over, no? So, of course, there is a high risk of developing gonadoblastoma and dysgeminoma. I will give you 2.5 because you could not tell me exact malignancy. So 2.5 to team B. The next question for you, this is again an easy one. What is the other kind of management you need to do in these cases?
Hormone replacement therapy.
Yeah, I will give you that. So for pubertal growth. So plus 5 and 2.5 total, they get 7.5. Team B. Audience, give them a round of applause. Oh, so the first was also answered. Yes, yes. So 12.5. Well done. So the next visual clue for team C. All the best to you, and here is your visual clue. 15-year-old complains of primary amenorrhea, and these are the features. It is obvious, short-statured webbed neck and shield chest. So your first question is, what is the most probable diagnosis?
Turner syndrome.
Absolutely right. So probably this was an easy one, your luck, but you get plus 5 for that. So the next question is, what are the investigations needed to confirm the diagnosis?
Karyotyping.
Karyotype will give you a clue. Other investigations? You don't want to do any other investigation, only karyotype?
We'll do the 2D ultrasound. We can see the streak ovaries.
Okay, so I'll give them plus 5, ultrasound, karyotyping, and of course you need to gonadotrophin. What kind of gonadotropic picture you will give? What kind of amenorrhea is this? If on the basis of hypergonadotropic hypogonadism. So the third question for you, what is the prevalence of this disorder?
1 in 2500 to 1 is to 3000 per live births.
1 in 2500, that is absolutely correct, and this is one of the most frequent chromosomal disorder in humans. So well done, team C. Plus 15, they could score the highest marks for this round, which was possible. So audience, a round of applause for team C. And the last visual clue for team D. So this is a 16-year-old female primary amenorrhea, absent uterus, blind vagina, genotype is XY, and you can see the picture of surgery being done for bilateral inguinal mass. So what is the most probable diagnosis?
Androgen insensitivity syndrome.
Of course, this was again a kind of easy one. So +5. The next question is, what is the genetic basis of this androgen insensitivity?
Ma'am,
I think time's
sorry,
up. Time's up. So, audience, which receptor, genetic mutation on what? So I'll give chocolate to Sangeeta. Mutation of androgen receptor gene located on this X11-12 region of Q arm. So the next question, of course, for team D only. What is the basis of breast development in these cases?
estrogen, peripheral estrogen.
Please be loud and be clear on the mic.
Ma'am, conversion of peripheral is into estrogen.
What did they say?
Peripheral conversion of estrogen, androgen.
So can we give it to them? They were on time? So they said what? This is the answer.
Peripheral conversion, they didn't say about excess of androgen in the blood, they didn't say peripheral conversion, they said.
So we can give them 2.5, I think.
Okay. Quizmaster's decision is final.
Yes, always the quizmaster decision is final. And of course we have to I think we come to the end of the team's question, and here is a easy one for the audience. This is the clue. 16-year female cyclical abdominal pain came with this ultrasound image. Hematocolpus. Yes, Monica. Of course, this was hematocolpus imperforate hymen. So, can we have the scores?
In this particular visual round, Team A scored 2.5, Team B scored 12.5, Team C scored 15, and Team D scored 7.5. So total, Team A is on 22.5, Team B 32.5, Team C 25, and Team D 27.5. So far, Team B is leading.
So we have Team B leading with 32.5 points. Audience, a round of applause for them. Followed by Team D, 27.5, Team C, 25, and Team A, 22.5. I'm just stressing on the scores because we'll start the rapid fire round with the lowest with the lowest scorer team. So the first, Team A. So first rapid fire round will go to Team A.
And now, rapid fire round. Be careful in answering because here is the rule. This round consists of 4 sets, and each team has to answer one set consisting of 5 questions only. Each question carries 10 marks. And there is negative marking, that is -5 marks for wrong answer. Questions may be passed and can be attempted later. 1 minute will be given to answer each set. And now
You're clear with the rules? एक पूरा सेट मिलेगा एक टीम को, स्कोर के हिसाब से सेट मिलेगा. एक सेट में 5 क्वेश्चन है, +10 है, -5 है. माइंड इट, -5 होगा अगर आपने अटेम्प्ट लिया और कुछ बोला, मम्बल किया, -5. इसीलिए बेटर होगा आपको सेकंड क्वेश्चन तब मिलेगा जब फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन आपने अटेम्प्ट ले लिया. अगर अटेम्प्ट नहीं लेना है बोलो पास बोल दो. नहीं बोला मैं वेट करती रहूंगी, स्लाइड आगे नहीं बढ़ेगा, तो तुम्हारा 1 मिनट एक ही क्वेश्चन पे चला जाएगा. अगर 1 मिनट में समय बचा है, तुमने 2 क्वेश्चन पास किया है, तुम वापस जाके अटेम्प्ट ले सकते हो. Understood? Now it's clear? We'll begin? So
begin
first
with
set is for team A. Team A, set 1 is for you. The
Team
time
A.
starts now.
Set 1. First question is, penetrative sexual assault committed on a child below 12 years amounts to which type of assault?
It is
Team A.
7 years of 7-year or lifetime imprisonment.
Incorrect. Question 2.
Exercise can improve metabolic parameters in absence of weight loss in PCOS. True or false?
True.
Correct.
Next, insulin resistance in PCOS is defined if fasting insulin level is
More than 20 nanogram per deciliter.
Correct.
McCune-Albright syndrome is associated with which adolescent problem?
Precocious puberty.
Correct.
Correct. And now last question. A child's statement can only be recorded in a police station under the POXO Act. True or
False.
false? Correct. Correct.
We'll give that because they attempted the time.
Correct. And now
Just
team
answers for first set. Penetrative sexual assault.
committed on a child below 12 years amounts to which type of assault? That is aggravated sexual assault. Second question, exercise can improve metabolic parameters. True or false? True. Insulin resistance in PCOS is defined if fasting insulin level is more than 20 IU per
They said nanogram, but nanogram per deciliter they mentioned, so I gave it to them. It was correct.
And number 4,
Precocious puberty was correctly answered.
Correctly
The fifth
answered.
question also, they answered correctly, it's false.
False.
So there are 4 correct and 1 wrong, 45. So Rita,
हो गया कर ली
now set 2 is for team C. Team C.
C.
Ready?
Team
Set
C.
2. First question. Time starts now.
What is zero FIR? What is zero FIR?
Pass.
Pass.
Second, stromal echogenicity is included in a sonographic parameter in ultrasound criteria of PCOM. True or false?
False.
Correct.
What percentage of testosterone production is derived from ovary?
20%.
Incorrect.
Which agent is safe and effective for treatment of idiopathic gonadotropin dependent precocious puberty?
Pass.
Pass.
And the last question is, the trial under POXO Act should ideally be completed within 1 year. True or false?
True. Correct. So they attempted 2 correctly, 1 wrong and 2 pass. 50. So the answers for set 2. What is a zero FIR? If you say ma'am, I'll give. No, I'll tell you why.
In zero FIR, a person can file a FIR at any police station regardless of jurisdiction. The second question is, stromal echogenicity is included as a sonographic parameter in ultrasound criteria. That is false.
They correctly answered this
They
question.
correct, true.
They answered 20%. Actually, it's 50%, 25%, 25%. So I didn't give it to them. It is 25%.
What
so
percent?
it is negative.
For which agent is safe and effective for treatment of idiopathic gonadotropin? They have
Long-acting GnRH
agonist.
At the last answer, they answered
They answered
correctly.
correctly. It is 1 year.
So let's see.
इसका ये कर ली तो मार्किंग कर ली.
Team D. The next set 3 is for Team D. Scorers ready? Your time starts now.
First question is, what is the punishment for using child for pornography in POXO?
Pass.
Pass.
In the updated criteria, AEPS guidelines, it was suggested to increase the threshold of follicular number per ovary to 25. False or true or false?
True.
Correct.
Which derivative of 17-alpha hydroxyprogesterone is commonly used in OCPs for hirsutism in adolescents?
Pass.
Pass.
Patients with constitutional delay of puberty typically exhibit what bone age?
Pass.
Pass.
The identity of the child victim can be disclosed to the media under certain conditions. True or false?
False.
Correct.
Correct.
So they answered 2 correctly and 3 pass. So total 20.
20.
20.
Clear one? 20 marks.
First question they passed. What is the punishment for using child for pornography?
That is imprisonment for up to 5 years as well as payment of fine.
Second question they answered correctly.
Correctly. That is true.
Third question they again passed.
Cyproterone. Yes, this was very easy. You didn't reply.
This was easy one. Then again they passed this question, didn't attempt. It's 12 to 13.5
5 years.
And fifth question they answered correctly. It is
That is false.
So team B is done. Now the
The last set.
Team B.
Team B.
You ready? Time starts now.
The punishment for sexual harassment of a child under POCSO.
Pass.
Pass.
Follicular distribution has been added as a adjunctive marker as per AEPS guideline. True or false?
True.
Incorrect.
MDQ is a survey tool for assessing which disorder?
Pass.
Pass.
Which biochemical test can help for distinguishing constitutional delay of puberty from congenital GnRH deficiency?
Pass.
Pass. And the
I can't give the fifth question to you all because you didn't pass in time. So the time delay, you should have passed it. So this question, the POCSO Act mandates and it was a easy
camera,
one,
it was
but you
easy.
won't get it.
It mandates in-camera trial to ensure the privacy of the child victim. True or false?
So the answers for set 4.
The first question answer is imprisonment for up to 3 years as well as payment of fine. The second, follicular distribution has been added as adjunctive. That is false.
So it's wrong, minus 5. The third,
MDQ
did not answer.
didn't answer.
It's for premenstrual
That was
syndrome.
easy one.
The fourth, they did not answer. It's serum
Which?
disulfate concentration. And the fifth, they could not attempt. The answer is
That
true.
is true.
In-camera trial is needed.
Needed.
Minus 5 in this one. Minus 5. So we will have the scores.
So at the end of all the rounds,
So we'll wait for the scores.
Final scores.
scores,
We are waiting.
in the rapid fire round, Team A scored 35 points, Team B scored minus 5 points, Team C scored 15 points, and Team D scored 20 points. So on rounding up every round, Team B is with score of 27.5 points, Team C is a score of 40 points, Team D is at score of 47.5 points, and Team A is leading with score of 57.5 points.
Team A. And now the total score is out, and the first is Team A. Team A with 57.5 marks. MGM Hospital.
MGM Hospital Patna are the winners today.
That is, the second is with 47.5 marks, that is Team D PMCH. Third is Team C of Mahavir Cancer, and fourth position is Team B of Sasaram. Na?
All right, can we have a very big round of applause for the entire team who has put up this lovely quiz, and of course, all the participants for participating in this quiz. Ladies and gentlemen, here we come to an end of the session at Hall Kautalya. It's now time where we give out the certificates to all the team players.
The winners will get their mementos and certificates in the valedictory. So you have to wait for the valedictory. Rest, all the participants will get the certificates. But before that, as a token of our love and respect to our expert, Abha Rani Sinha ma'am will like to give a memento and certificate. Khushbu. Ma'am, aap aaiye na upar.